Hello, friends. South Korea, a high-tech, beautiful, and unique country that can boast an outstanding history, rich culture, and delightful nature. Its shores are washed by the waters of three seas, all part of the Pacific Ocean basin. South Korea? That's how this country is often called, although its official name is the Republic of Korea. Territory: 99,720 square kilometers. Population: nearly 52 million people. 98% of the population are Koreans. There is also a small Chinese community. Official language: Korean. It borders only one country, its main political adversary, North Korea. The history of South Korea begins with the Soviet-American Agreement in 1945. Until 1945, the entire Korean peninsula was under Japanese protectorate, essentially a Japanese colony. After Japan's defeat in World War II, the Korean peninsula was divided into American and Soviet occupation zones, with the dividing line running along the 38th parallel. The north went to the USSR, the south to the USA. Today's South Korea is a civilized state that creates a huge number of innovative technologies and manufactures products. Despite this, the country's residents have preserved many national traditions and customs. South Korea is on the list of the safest countries in the world. Locals treat tourists well, but communication can sometimes be problematic since not everyone speaks English. In South Korea, almost everyone uses cosmetics, regardless of gender or age. Koreans meticulously take care of their appearance, hair and skin, so they buy an unimaginable amount of products. They never go out without makeup. Men also care about their appearance. On the street, it's practically impossible to see a man with messy or disheveled hair. In general, many actions of young Koreans cause great surprise even among residents of Western countries. For example, a young guy in South Korea can calmly dye his hair pink or purple, go to school or work like that, and it won't surprise anyone at all. Plastic surgery is also very popular in South Korea. According to statistics, every second Korean woman has surgically altered some part of her body. Many parents give their daughters a visit to a plastic surgeon as a graduation gift. One of the latest fashion trends is artificially lifting the corners of the lips to create the illusion of a constant slight smile. Koreans are very lucky with nature and landscapes. In the mountainous regions of the country, surrounded by dense forests, crystal-clear rivers, and lakes, ancient monasteries, pagodas, and unique villages are located. The natural beauty of South Korea is protected by the state and is part of national parks and reserves. The sea coastline is incredibly picturesque. There are hundreds of comfortable beaches here, considered among the best on the entire Asian coast. The Republic of Korea is also known for its world-class ski resorts, where ski and snowboard enthusiasts come to relax. Seoul, the capital of South Korea, is a huge city with a population approaching that of Moscow. In this rapidly developing megapolis, they managed to organize urban space from the perspective of Western urbanism while preserving national identity. On the city streets, reconstructed objects of the capital's historical past peacefully coexist with architectural works of modern art. Seoul has a large number of skyscrapers. This city will be interesting for lovers of sightseeing tours, fans of nightlife, and families with children, for whom all conditions are created in thematic and entertainment parks. Seoul is a very beautiful, energetic, and distinctly Asian city. True, there is one downside. Seoul is among the 10 most expensive cities in the world. In budget cafes, the average cost of one dish will be around $10. If you buy food in parks, it will be more expensive. In principle, the cost is justified. The portions are usually large and come with special side dishes. Water is not sold in cafes, it is given for free. Coffee will cost about $5, and the same for various buns, pastries, or burgers. Busan is the second largest city in South Korea. Today, this seaport is the main one in the country and ranks 5th in the world in cargo turnover. Busan is located in the southeast of the Korean peninsula on the shore of the Korea Strait. The most densely built-up areas are located in several narrow valleys between the Nakdongang and Suyonggang rivers. Mountains serve as natural boundaries for some urban areas. Busan is one of the most modern cities in Asia. Here is the world's largest department store, Shinsegae Centum City, with a trading area of about 500,000 square meters. The city also houses the Busan International Finance Center. One of Busan's symbols is the Grand Gwangan Suspension Bridge, connecting the two main districts of the city spread across both shores of Suyong Bay. Its total length is almost 7.5 kilometers. Jeju Island is a popular tourism center, famous for its volcanic landscapes, luxurious nature, incredibly beautiful broken coastline, upscale hotels and restaurants, local beaches with snow-white sand like flour or, conversely, asphalt-black volcanic sand are perfectly equipped and ready to receive tourists from July to the end of September. The most famous national parks in South Korea, Seoraksan and Odisan, are located on mountain ranges covered with dense forests in Gangwon Province. A bit about the climate. The overwhelming part of the country is in the temperate climate zone, so the change of seasons and their influence is felt quite strongly. Spring and autumn are short and not cold. Summer is often extremely hot. The average temperature in some parts of the country reaches plus 135 degrees Celsius. From June to July, the rainy season usually begins. Autumn is considered the most pleasant and comfortable time of year. The weather is dry and warm. In winter, the average air temperature is 10 degrees Celsius, with little precipitation. South Korea is a modern country, but traditions are not forgotten here. When young people think about marriage, the opinion of the oldest family member is paramount. No South Korean would dare to start a new family without parental consent and blessing. Of course, freedom of action is now much broader, but no marriage happens without the guidance of mother and father. Excessive parental control over a girl's relationships is only welcomed. Typical Korean cuisine consists of rice, soup, vegetables, fish, beans, and seaweed. Most Korean dishes are generously seasoned with red pepper. Korean cuisine will pleasantly surprise guests with unique aromas and flavors. It is low-calorie since it is mainly prepared from a large variety of vegetables. Seasonings include garlic, red pepper, soy sauce, ginger, and sesame oil. Kimchi, a widely known dish of vegetables, Peking cabbage fermented with pepper, is eaten by Koreans almost always. There are dozens of different types of kimchi, from spicy to relatively mild. It's worth noting that dairy products are practically absent in Korean cuisine. South Korea has a real cult of food. They approach the issue of nutrition very carefully here. Skipping any meal for a Korean is a disaster. The speed of service in local cafes and snack bars is simply amazing. Food delivery to home is done literally within 10 minutes. Here, instead of the usual, "How are you?" they ask, "Did you eat well?" It sounds funny, but Koreans love to drink because by nature they are quite shy. Alcohol for them is a very important part of culture that helps them get to know each other better, so at least once a week they gather to have a drink. However, when it comes to alcoholic beverages, everyone follows certain rules. For example, if a person pouring a drink is older than you must hold the glass with both hands and the oldest person at the table drinks first, and only then the others. Residents of South Korea are especially meticulous about oral hygiene because dental services are very expensive. Here it is customary to brush teeth after every meal, and often in a lady's purse, among other things, you can find a toothbrush. In addition, in the restrooms of many establishments there is always a free disposable tooth cleaning kit. The Republic of Korea is a country with a highly developed economy. Medical and computer technologies, high-tech engineering, and electronics are the main sectors of the Korean economy. World-famous conglomerates like Samsung, Hyundai, and LG. Since 1979, Korea has pursued a policy of economic openness to foreign investors, which led to large-scale American, Japanese, and Western European investments. Agriculture makes up a small percentage of GDP. 15% of the working-age population is employed in it. With government support, fishing has seriously advanced in recent times. This sector fully meets the country's population needs, and surplus fish and seafood are exported. The country's currency is the South Korean won. The standard of living in South Korea is high. The republic ranks 24th in the world in income after taxes, on average $2,100 per month. True, Koreans work a lot, from morning till late evening and almost without days off. In this, they are similar to the Japanese. Chronic overwork is common here for most people. Perhaps that's why, despite the high standard of living and general well-being, South Korea ranks third in the world in the number of suicides. In South Korea, there are its own rules of behavior and social order. For example, to call a person over, you need to lower your palm down and wave it, moving all fingers. With gestures familiar to us, palm up or with the index finger, Koreans call dogs, and with such a gesture you will offend a local. One of the most interesting rules of Korean etiquette is the absence of apologies. That is, if a Korean accidentally bumps into someone, he will simply walk on. Here it is believed that by apologizing you can make the person feel awkward. Tourists can safely travel to South Korea. Street crime is minimized here. Pickpocketing is rare, unlike in other Asian countries. If you forget something on the street or in a cafe, it will most likely calmly wait for its owner. By the way, Russian citizens can stay in South Korea without a visa for up to 60 days. Let's run through some interesting facts. Residents of South Korea, according to official data, have the highest IQ level among the entire world population. South Korea is among the top 5 largest car manufacturers in the world and holds first place in shipbuilding. Private educational institutions are widespread in South Korea, and the quality of education there is very high. South Korean parents annually spend $17 billion on their children's education. Teaching is a prestigious profession in Korea. A good teacher in a private school earns very decent money. South Koreans believe that a person's essence is closely linked to their blood type. Based on this indicator, decisions are often made about the success or failure of a marriage. The border between North and South Korea is considered the most tense border in the world. There have been no hints of conflict for a long time, but the atmosphere here is always very tense, and border guards constantly stare at each other. Thanks for watching, friends. Write in the comments what you think about South Korea.